Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Post Narcissist. I'm glad that you have found us here on YouTube and have joined our tribe of survivors because, we're the only ones that kind of understand each other. Dating a narcissist or being married to a narcissist is a different type of relationship than any other. So we're all kind of the only ones that can really understand each other. So that's why I started this YouTube channel, because the more I know about narcissism and the more that I know what my relationship was really about, the more I can kind of protect myself from the hoover that I'm really in danger of right now. I put out a video, I think my most recent video, where I told you guys that I found out that my ex is going through or beginning the stages of a breakup with his new supply. So I was, for all my new subscribers out there, just a tiny quick background, is that I was married for 7 years, and I pretty much gave him everything I had. Every dollar I made, every minute of my time, everything. And I thought he was my soulmate. And I am an empath. So, empathic people just completely take on the vibes of everyone around them. And so we can detect pretty much all evils except for the narcissist, because the narcissist is a complete mirror, right? So it just, whatever I put out there, I just got reflected back to me. That's how I got tricked. That's how empaths get tricked. So I was with my ex-narc for 7 years and absolutely, completely got blindsided. He discarded me out of nowhere one day and left me left me just reeling, taking care of, my whole life is in shambles. And he took his new supply, which he already had lined up, and took her to every single thing, every restaurant, every place we'd ever been together, and just relived the relationship completely and perfectly, one right after another, without missing a step. And I was just left completely devastated, right? That's not supposed to happen. No normal person is able to discard you and move on that fast, and not only move on, but move on in a fashion where they never missed a step. There was just no remorse. I couldn't understand it. I was, well, how can I literally, and I mean literally, be on the floor in a fetal position crying, thinking, don't know what happened, thinking the love of my life just left one day to the next, and is now posting all over social media, eating at our favorite restaurant with someone I don't know. So things like that really don't happen in a normal relationship, only a narcissistic relationship, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. So after 7 years, it's been 2.5 years now since that day. And now I don't know, maybe he's better at a narcissist. Maybe it's because the woman that the new supply was 16 years younger than me. So she, people that are that young, they want their life. They want to go out with their friends. They want, to do a lot of things. They're not very good at being isolated when you're very young like that. And that's what he had done. He isolated her almost more severely than I got isolated. So I think that their relationship is more on a fast track, maybe, I don't know, than mine and his were. But I found out that their relationship is on the rocks, and my narc is going to try to hoover me, I think. He's already trying to sneakily sneak in on my social media and starting to leave all these nonchalant comments, thinking that I don't know that it's him. So one of the messages I really want to get out there today is that if you're in a relationship with a narcissist and you get discarded, but you don't know that you were, captured by a narc, the hoover will happen, and you'll fall for it, kind of thing. I think more easily. Like, I heard a statistic that says that the average time that breakups and get-togethers happen, the cycle happens 9 times per supply. Now, that's going to happen if you don't know that they are a narcissist. When you know, and the more you educate and the more you listen to channels like this, and there's a lot of other great channels out there about narcissism, but the more you know what they're about, where they're coming from, and you can probably, I'm hoping, resist the hoover. Because in a normal relationship, when you thought you were with the love of your life and you break up and then they come back and want to try again, of course you want to get back together, and you really try to make a solid effort of it. But when you're with a narcissist and they come back and want to try again, if you know that they're a narcissist, well, it's like, wait a minute, you're just after my fuel. You're only here because someone else broke up to you and you don't want to be alone. You realize, if you know you were with a narcissist, that it absolutely has nothing to do with you or your happiness or what someone wants to offer you. When you know that when you're with a narcissist, they have zero interest in your happiness. They're not coming back to try to make you happy. They're not coming back to really have a solid relationship that you thought you had with them and still want. If you know that they're a narcissist, you know that that's not what this is about. This is about their selfish ego not wanting to be without fuel, because they are so empty. They can't generate their own happiness within themselves. They need to suck it out of other people. And when you know, and there's no exception. If they're an overt narcissist or a covert narcissist, the lesser, the greater, the mid-range, it doesn't matter. In the end, they will come back to you to get your fuel because they are empty. And that's what the hoover is about. That's what the groveling, I'm trying to prepare myself because I know that they're going to come back and say that they're sorry when they're not really sorry. They're just saying that and to try to get me back. So, but if you listen and kind of educate yourself about what narcissism is, you know that it's not, that it's an illusion, that it's fake. They've put on, they're still the demon with blood on their face, but with them wearing the most beautiful mask over top of it. So you saw the mask slip once, right? You saw who they really were. But just because they come back with a new mask that's even more beautiful than the first, there's still the, kind of like demon underneath that cares nothing about what happens to you, right? They don't care about, they're going to come and get whatever fuel that you were able to regenerate from the time of the discard or the breakup to now. They're coming back because you have, if you've been doing work on yourself, you're refueled again. And if you've moved on even a little bit, that first of all, that's going to drive them insane, and they're going to want to come back to take whatever fuel you replenished yourself with, right? Because they don't care where they get their fuel from, really. They really don't. That's why a lot of narcissists cheat on their spouses and girlfriends and boyfriends and husbands. They feel no remorse over it. They're just getting fuel, and they don't care where from or how. From their own family members, from strangers, it just doesn't matter to them. It's absolutely with complete disremorse. So, and I know, the thing is, I know that and I'll do a lot more videos later about being an empath, So I know as an empath, you take on the energies and the feelings of other people. So when someone comes up to you, whether they're a narcissist or not, and they come up to you and they say that they're hurting and they want this, and if I do this one thing, it'll make them feel better. Well, empaths tend to do that at all costs, because then we'll feel better. But if we do something and cut them loose and say no and see them and have them hurt even more, if you're an empath, that's going to hurt you. And so you don't really want to do it, even though you know you have to. It's a very, I know that there's a lot of empaths listening, and I know it's a very hard thing to get across to some people that aren't empaths, because empaths also feel, it doesn't matter what the emotion is, they feel it all. So it doesn't matter if someone's happy or sad or angry or remorseful, we take it all on. That's why something that a lot of people don't know about empaths is that we get angry also very easily, because we'll feel the people around us angry. And that's how some of our, some fights with a narcissist get very fiery, because we took on that energy. But we took on the love just as much. That's why we thought we had our soulmates. So they're going to come back, and I know he's going to come back and try this. He's already begun, and he's going to come and try to take whatever fuel I've got right now. And I've been trying to do a lot of work, on myself to really move on, and not just act like I've moved on or say I've moved on, but I'm trying to really move on. And I don't know. I'm doing this talk today because I need to remind myself to resist the hoover, because I know that rejecting him, when he comes back, that I'll feel pain from it, no matter what. I don't want to, but I know I will, because I'm an empath, and making someone hurts me, even though I know I'm actually protecting myself. So, and it's just, I'm doing this talk just to kind of remind myself of that. And he hasn't, once I found out that he had made a fake profile online, and I noticed it, and I'm like, Then the other day I went back to a lot of my older posts, and he's actually been watching me for a while. This didn't just happen this week. I found out that it's been happening for a couple months now. Probably as soon as his fuel supply from the main source started getting depleted, and started, as soon as the devaluing stage started on his end, that's when he probably created that profile a couple months ago, maybe. So, and I'm glad that I'm aware of it. Like, I'm trying to be aware of it. I'm trying to get other people aware of it. That's why, I went online and kind of started a tribe, because if you're aware of it, you can resist it. But if you don't know that there were even a narcissist, you thought that they were just, that it was just a breakup that you couldn't get over. If you're aware that they're a narcissist, you can be ready for when they come back. Because if you don't know and they just come back, you'll probably accept them back. But if you know that they're a narcissist, even though it's probably going to hurt you, to reject them. And that's what I'm going to do. And I know I need to do that. And I'm putting this talk online because I want everyone else that's gone through this to do that, to reject them, even though it hurts us. Because we need to do that for our own survival. I put out a video about them being a shark and us being the octopus. They're going to come back and take the last arm that they didn't eat from us. So we're all here to kind of support each other. I'm glad that you guys are listening to me. I'm glad that you found us here on YouTube and have joined our tribe as we all support each other. I look forward to reading all your comments. They're so awesome. I really appreciate you guys opening up like that in the comments. Like, some of you almost start making me cry when I read about some of the things that you've gone through. So please like and subscribe as we all move forward. Post Narcissist.